Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Filecoin, seeing what's going on. We're going to double check some liquidation levels. This is a request from one of my newer community members here, actually newer, older. Not to say that you are old. I'm more so referring to duration more so, but what is it? We got a request from Wasim. Actually was with our community a while back. Welcome back again here for a second go around for our premium group. So welcome back, and of course, we're going to see what's going on here with Filecoin and see kind of if your long position is, well, worthwhile or not. I could understand taking a long at the top there, considering we are retesting that level multiple times. And we're going to double check a few things here. So first things first is liquidation. We'll double check this here. And just see here, 8.5 is that key level where we have the heaviest concentration of liquidation, 8.48 roughly. And then of course we got down below here as well, right about 7.9 as a close approximate there. Okay, so those are the high and lows for liquidation. Price action does seem to be hovering closer to the $8 than $8.50 range, but generally speaking, that helps us understand that's the last 12 hours of liquidation. I'm willing to speculate if we zoom out to the 7-day, we're going to see a little bit less just based on that nastiness from yesterday. There is still some previous shorts that are open at about 8.6, 8.7, upwards of 9. So there technically is a lot more liquidation above the price action than below if you look at larger time frames. So this does warrant a leg up here moving forward as a possibility. Now, is it a probability? Yes and no. Just depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin doesn't pull back aggressively, I think we should be able to see Filecoin come back up. But we kind of look at these two coins together. In fact, let's kind of look. Bitcoin coming up, over consolidated right here. Filecoin, let's see here, Filecoin dipped down pretty hard at that point. And then of course, if we see current pullback, we're starting to see Filecoin actually hold fairly strong. So, you know, it's hard to identify a specific correlation, right? I always try to look at the two between, you know, kind of see how they're communicating essentially. And right now we can see Filecoin doing much better than Bitcoin is, considering Bitcoin's pulled back a decent percent, and Filecoin's essentially consolidating right there at that volume support range. So is that a good or bad thing? Well, I guess it's hard to say. Right now, it does seem more positive than negative to me, just based on, you know, outside looking in, but there's no guarantees in that. What is positive too, though, let's just double check this here. I want to make sure to congratulate some members here. Awesome job, folks. Sticking with the swing trades again. XRP 44% in 10 days. Got some older trades. OGN 143%, Polkadot 78%, Comp 253%. I don't know about you, but I'm okay with waiting 5 months for 250%. That's just, this may seem crazy, but it's really legit. 65% in 1 month there from Litecoin, SHIB 174, Solana 26 days, 82%. You can see kind of all over the place, but some of our recent trades too, Crowcoin, and a few others are coming through too. So just want to give a quick congrats to our committee for that. That is phenomenal. Love to see that that's working out well for y'all. Now, okay, so let's talk about this here. Sorry about clearing my voice. That might happen from time to time. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold. So looking at the daily time frame, we can see today's a pretty solid day. We're above all moving averages too, and if we take a look at some indicators here, oscillators, etc., we can see we're up over 70. Being over 70 is typically a really good sign. It means we broke through a key level resistance. In most cases, that's usually a 1-to-1 ratio. So on average, you're going to break through a resistance when you break through 70 on the RSI. Okay, that's kind of reflected on the charts, and if you kind of take a look at that, we can see our fib level. It probably is somewhere in the range of this 775, that 0.236 fib level. Okay, because again, if you look at it here, we can see the general concept is that the price action is right here at this level. Okay, so we look at that and we combine that with stochastic RSI swinging down. This is more of a longer term scenario here, with this being a macro, kind of letting us know that we should expect the price to maybe pull back even further. However, if you look at this here, we can see $8.15 as the high for the current price action, and that's where the volume profile is at too. So we've seen the most amount of volume at this level, trying to break through that key level resistance. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attempts to break that level, and no success yet. Okay, I want to emphasize the word yet. Again, if Bitcoin does end up pulling back any further, we might this scenario might change, but Bitcoin doesn't. Filecoin looks like it's ready to break out. This does look like a breakout situation. Again, I know it seems contrary because we're seeing a stochastic swing to the downside, and MACD is kind of pulling back a little, but outside of those two oscillators, everything else is looking truly bullish. And when you reattempt multiple times at the same level, like you've been knocking on this door for a long time, it would make sense for the price to break out. Okay, so again, if Bitcoin can kind of maintain its current price and not pull back, I think we do see Filecoin take off. But if we do see a retest of 60 to 61K from Bitcoin, that changes everything, and there's a good chance we'll see another dip here from Filecoin. But once more, we've broken free from this kind of this flaggish pattern here, right? Kind of giving us indication that we're on the right side of tracks. So now it's a descending bullish retest if the price comes back to bounce off that level. So again, a secondary entry, if you're considering one, could be right here at about 775, where the price comes down to pivot off that most recent low. Again, we got a lot of volume support at 750. That's the secondary most amount of volume. So this coin is still sustainable. I would say setting a stop loss below that volume profile would be appropriate just in case the price continues to run down from Bitcoin again. All depends on Bitcoin. So taking a look here, we got a MACD convergence for the last 12 hours. That makes sense. Stochastic still swinging up, but getting close to the top. We're back up over 50 on the RSI, and money flow index is right there with it. So those are all positive contributing factors. That in conjunction with all moving averages just below the price action, perfect situation. That's awesome. So again, even though it looks kind of shaky, we have this upper level of liquidity as a kind of a target. So I would say set your target just below $9 if you're going to be shooting for a profit target to ensure you can secure profits. That puts you in somewhere in between 5 to 9%. But there's a strong likelihood of the upper liquidity level getting swept here at this point. Once again, pending Bitcoin doesn't do anything completely nonsensical. Does look like it's pulling back though, so be careful. Once more, this coin has showed us multiple times it's trying to pull back and hasn't yet. And we might actually be hitting our top for Bitcoin, so just be cautious and careful there. Once more, Filecoin showing a lot of strength though in this situation. All that being said, let's see what the hourly tells us. This is basically, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this here. Take a look at the Ichimoku cloud. I want to confirm a few things here. So we're above the cloud, which is great. We've been above for 12 hours. Lagging span is free and clear, and the conversion line's above the baseline. This is basically 3 out of 3 reasons to leave your long position open or to consider a long position. Now, again, lagging span is not like dramatically free. Ideally, the price action stays where it's at and doesn't go any lower. I would say Filecoin is looking pretty strong here in the overall sense. While this isn't like a perfect situation, the overall sentiment is great. In other words, we have a good, like, I wouldn't say inverse pairing, but Filecoin looks like it's moving fairly independent of Bitcoin. It's broken free from its descending trend, and it's also staying above all moving averages on multiple time frames. And at this point here on the hourly, we got confirmation for the cloud. So again, I would say like 80% probability we retest this level at 860 and break through. And I would say the price would likely push to the $9 mark. That seems like a likelihood. Okay. So just some friendly advice here. Make sure that you set multiple profit targets. Ensure you secure profits wherever possible because the price could continue to go in the opposite direction, especially if Bitcoin pulls back. And then on top of that too, of course, just make sure you have I wouldn't say a super tight stop loss, but for example, like me, if I were to consider a second entry, I'd put it like right here at about 7.770, right? And a tertiary target possibly down here where the candle wicks came to test this lower range here, maybe 730. And my stop loss generally, because again, I use low leverage and low position sizing, would probably be somewhere down below this volume profile. Because if we lose this level of 0.382, $7.20, then we'll probably likely see the price continue lower from there. Because we'd be establishing lower lows and lower highs at that point. So generally speaking, that's kind of the concept of how I set up my trades. So if you're not familiar, obviously, attend my trading university and be part of my community. You can learn a lot more. You can even be a fly on the wall too, but there are some awesome traders in our group. Thank you again so much for just being an awesome part of my life. Congrats to our community members here for just being really, highly profitable in this situation. And we're all working together, making sure that we make responsible decisions. And that's kind of how trading is, right? Don't FOMO into anything. But at this point, I do feel like Filecoin has a stronger probability of going up than down. So hopefully that helps you as well. And thanks again so much for the request. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Oh, very last thing too, Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Highly recommend using them. Be sure to use the link down below to get some nice benefit rewards here. But mainly, we use them because there's no KYC or VPN required. So check them out. I think you'll be considerably happy with them. And we also have private trading competitions coming up for only those who use my link to register. And that's coming up. Our first prize pool is going to be 10,000 spread among roughly 300 to 400 people. Okay? So it's going to be cool. Be sure to check that out. Awesome stuff. Thanks again for joining me here. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.